Donnie Tyndall, the head men's basketball coach at Morehead State, joins us now on MSUEagles.com. Joined by a special guest here during the holiday season, his daughter Taylor. And thanks to both of you for being here, Coach. Another good win today over Ball State. You've mentioned multiple times they were picked to win their side of the Mid-American Conference this year, and the second straight year of knocking off the Cardinals after a 2-point win in Muncie last year. Seen a lot of smiles here post-game and kind of a deep sigh. I know you're happy with the result tonight.
Well, no question, and our team has really improved the last few weeks, man, on the practice floor and been competitive and energetic, and I think everyone's kind of pushed their ego aside and settled into this is a team thing, and it's been reflected. Even the two practices that we had before the South Dakota game, I thought were our best two practices of the year to that point, and we practiced really well the last two and a half weeks, and I thought we got our practices into the game today, although offensively, you don't want to have 20 turnovers on your home floor, but our energy level was good. We defended, we rebounded, and our press was really good, causing 24 turnovers for them.
I've only been around this program myself a couple of months, but one thing I've found out early on is that you reward guys who practice well. With 9 newcomers in the program, are you starting to get some buy-in from the new guys as far as, hey, if you work hard and practice well, that you're going to get minutes, and that's going to kind of contribute to the team's success overall?
Yeah, no question. I mean, with these new guys, it's always worked out for them. So they've been the best player at their high school or their best player at their junior college. And so even though maybe they didn't practice the right way, then the coach would say, well, if you don't practice hard, you're not going to play. But then at the end of the day, most coaches are going to play them anyway. Right. And so they think when they come in August 23rd and workouts start, and I'm telling them, look, man, if you don't go hard, you're not going to play. If you don't practice hard, you're not going to play. That's just how we do it here. And they all kind of think, okay, yeah, coach, whatever, okay, I got you. And then these games get tipped off, and guys are running up and down, and the starting lineups are getting called, and they're not playing, and finally the light goes on, and they say, oh, boy, I better start practicing the right way. And that's when you see guys make progress. You see a guy like Will Bailey start to turn the corner, like we've had other young guys doing the program years ago. You see guys like Jordan Parcell continue to improve and get better because they're practicing the right way. Khalil Owens, the first few weeks of the season, didn't practice the right way. The last month he has. His minutes have reflected that. So it's just the way we do things. I think any coach that's had success around the country bases 90% of what he does and who he plays based on what he sees on the practice field or the practice floor, and that's just how we do it. But to the guys' credits, they practice better, and some guys individually have reaped the rewards or benefits of practicing better.
Once again, Donnie Tyndall is with us after Morehead State defeats Ball State tonight, 62-54 here at Johnson Arena. A good way to go into what will be a very short Christmas break, I'm sure. Coach, you've mentioned too, I know that you take academics very seriously, expect the guys to do well in the classroom, but you've mentioned to me multiple times that this is kind of the time of year where, due to the NCAA rules, you can practice the guys more, and you've seen a lot of progress in your team. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think with academics being over with and the guys having final exams behind them, they can focus solely on basketball for 4 or 5 weeks, and we don't go too much over the 20 hours per week per se. The practices stay fairly the same amount of time, but I think without having anything else to focus on other than rest, take care of your body, and concentrating on basketball. Now, the one thing we'll do a little bit more of is watch film, so the mental side of it, they can grow and learn and develop a little bit more in the film room. But it's a good time of year. I tell our guys it's like the NBA. There's no distractions. There's not any students around. It's basketball, sleeping and hanging out, watching some basketball at night. So for a guy like myself that's a basketball junkie, it doesn't get any better than that.
I'm sure the turnover is a bit higher than you had hoped tonight, but your two post players, Khalil Owens and Milton Chavis, in a combined 44 minutes here, had 15 points, 18 rebounds. I thought in spurts tonight, both of those guys were pretty good for you.
They were, and like I always say with junior college guys, about January 1st, you finally get what you'd hoped you would when you recruited them. It's just an adjustment period like it is for anybody, and I think both those guys are getting better. The turnovers, as you mentioned, were just too high, 20 turnovers. But, you look at Milton, he has 9 rebounds, which is fantastic. 8 points is fine. But his 8 turnovers, if he could play with 2 or 3, now you're talking about having 14 turnovers instead of 20. Mm-hmm. So we just can't turn it over that much from our post positions. But I do think both of those guys, as you mentioned, are getting better and better.
Defensively, you mentioned a little while ago, your team forcing 24 turnovers tonight and limiting Ball State to 33% from the floor in the first half. Just talk about your press and from an X's and O's standpoint, what seemed to be working there.
Well, the biggest thing is Davis is so good, their point guard. He's not going to beat. He's not going to let you force him to do something he doesn't want to do. He's heady, he's crafty. As much as we pressured him, he still had 5 assists and only 1 turnover. But I do think our press kind of forced some other guys to handle the ball that aren't used to handling it as much as they had to tonight. And I think it kept them a little bit out of offensive rhythm because there were certain presses where we denied the ball back to him and made someone else initiate offense. And so they were a little bit out of sync, particularly the first half. They adjusted a little bit better, I thought, in the second half.
A final comment from you about the beginning of OVC play here. Wednesday, the team travels to Southeast Missouri.
Well, one thing I'd like to mention first is,
Sure.
We had 1,000 fans in the gym tonight, but it felt like about 4,000 or 5,000. They were loud and boisterous and into the game. So I want to thank all of our fans and friends that came out and watched the game tonight and pulled for us. You were a huge part of this win. And as you mentioned, getting into league play, we always break our season into 3 separate seasons. You got the non-conference, the regular season, conference, and then postseason play. And it's a fresh start for everybody. So I know our team will be excited and looking forward to starting conference play, but so will Southeast Missouri and every other team in our league. And our league is so good this year. It's the best it's been in my 6 years. And we know, I said last year, Tennessee Tech would be the surprise team in our league, and they proved to be exactly that. And someone asked me in the media day this year who would be the surprise team, and I said Southeast Missouri. They are very, very talented, and that's going to be a heck of a game on the 28th.
All righty. Coach, congratulations. Happy holidays to you and Taylor. Taylor, thanks for being with us as well, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.